Welcome to Gutter Trash episode 147, Axe Cop. My name is Eric.
My name is Jason. I just love it when you say it, Axe Cop.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Why? Is it just the way I say it, or just the words together?
I think those words together will now mean something more than the sum of their parts ever have.
I think so too. Let's get into this then.
Yeah.
I mentioned it last episode, but just in case, here's a refresher. Axe Cop is originally started out as a webcomic, written by a 5-year-old, drawn by his 29-year-old brother. And now it's a trade paperback for the masses to enjoy.
That's right.
Although, I guess technically more masses could enjoy them on the internet, where they are located.
Are they still doing webcomics?
I don't know.
I
think probably I would assume that since they're now published by Dark Horse, they're probably only published by Dark Horse.
Right.
Maybe they're, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they still do Axe Cop.
I hope so. Oh my gosh. Ask Axe Cop. Wow. Amazing.
So, I'm gonna just guess you really enjoyed this.
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah, it seemed kind of puerile. Like, I don't even think the writer has a college education. It was fucking amazing. Oh my gosh. Like, yeah, I've heard people talk about this for, I don't know, close to a year, I guess. I mean,
Yeah,
whenever.
Been around for about that. I think January 2011 is when it first started being published online.
Yeah, and I mean, I've heard, like,
Or
everybody's
maybe
always like,
2010. I don't know.
everybody's always like, yeah, it's written by a 5-year-old, and like his older brother draws it. And I'm like, well, that's probably awesome.
Right,
that's
right.
cute, and that's,
Yeah.
But then I read it, and oh my god. It's so much better than it sounds.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, it sounds like kind of like interesting, or like, well, that's different.
Right.
But no, people. Seriously. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I think, I had the reaction before I had read it was sort of, my reaction was, oh, that's awesome, I kind of wish I had, like, a little brother I could, make comics with. That'd be so fun and cool, and we do cool things, and then, when you read it, though, it blows your fucking mind.
Yeah. It's up there with, like, Miracle Man and Sandman.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh my gosh.
I wasn't even finished reading this book. I don't think I'd even announced. I don't think we had done the episode where I announced this yet.
Uh-huh.
But on our Facebook page, because I was already reading it before we did the previous episode, I put on our Facebook page that my next comic pick may not be the best comic we've ever read, but by far it's my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, it's unlike anything ever. I've been reading comics for 34 years. I'm 34 years old. Okay, 29 years. Whatever.
Sure, alright.
Oh my gosh, it is unlike anything I've ever read, and that is high praise. That's not like saying, Superfly by Mike Diana, or Rob Liefeld's Team Youngblood. Unlike anything I've ever read, but this is unlike anything I've ever read, and it needs to be read by everybody.
I, not even finished with this book, like knowing that I was going to pass it off to you to read, I started making a list of other people that I want to give this to tomorrow.
Right?
Yeah. I am going to pass this book around like pretentious comic book assholes pass around the Watchmen books.
Oh, yeah. Do they pass theirs around, or are they too afraid that, someone will, like,
ruin
smear something on their dust jacket or something?
I don't know.
Axe Cop has no dust jacket.
Nope. And if it did, it would chop off its fucking head.
Yeah. Yeah, it would. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. Okay, written by a 5-year-old,
Yeah.
drawn by his older brother. There's some, like, there's a couple of stories in here that are, you know, between 5 and 40 pages.
Yeah.
Like, there's an epic 40-pager.
Right. The final chapter of this, the ultimate battle.
The ultimate battle. But then, like you mentioned earlier, there's all these axe cops.
Yeah.
And apparently...
It's hard to say out loud.
Yeah, especially if you've been drinking Celebrator by Ainger? Ainger? I don't know, I've never heard of that before.
All I know is I am 100% sober and I can't say it. So there you go.
But, okay, apparently, like, this is a real thing where fans or curiosity seekers or what have you will actually write them and just say, "Dear Axe Cop," and then ask whatever is on their mind.
Right.
And then he draws usually a 1-page or half-page
Right.
comic about Axe Cop responding based on what his little brother says.
Right, yeah.
Those are genius.
Yeah. Yes, they are. I mean, the actual storylines in this are pretty damn good.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the Ask Cop sections are by far my favorite parts of this.
Or for our urban listeners, Axe Cop. Why not? That's not racist. That's just a fact.
Yep. Can't deny it.
But those are some of the best parts. I laughed out loud so many times while reading this. And, like, they catch you off guard. It wasn't like, oh, it's not like some clever, Dan Clowes storyline where he's building up to something and then, like, there's this obtuse, like, funny part. It's just like, bah! All of a sudden, you know. Like, when the Axe Cop shows up in his kitty cat costume that he kills supervillains in their sleep with at night. Yeah. Yeah, because apparently he likes to dress up like a kitty cat and sneak into supervillains' houses and murder them while they're sleeping.
Oh, one of my favorite ones is the Axe Cop, like, you know, what's a normal day for you like? And he describes his full day, and he when he returns home from killing bad guys in their sleep in his cat costume,
Right.
He sleeps for 2 minutes, and he goes to the kitchen where there are signs hanging above his stove. You cannot eat breakfast. Your job is always.
Yeah. It's very motivational. And when he does eat, it's like cake. All he eats is cake.
Apples.
Apples and cake.
Yeah, apples that he forms from his hand that are also sometimes poison.
Oh, that's right. There's a lot of poisoning in this comic.
There is. His secret attacks.
Yeah, secret attacks. Oh, man. Okay, this is funny that the tick just popped up on your screensaver here.
Yeah.
I think, like, describing the atmosphere of this book would be like the best parts of Rob Liefeld comics filtered through the best parts of Ben Edlund comics. Like that sort of crazy action that filtered through the most insane like characters
Right.
and situations that are just fucking hilarious. It's so good. And it's not like you're like there's not even a 1% like that you think this kid is being sarcastic or like, like he's not making fun of anything.
No.
This is like what he wants.
Pure imagination.
Yeah, just unleashed.
Yeah. Just slightly filtered through, his older brother. But, I don't know if you actually went through and read all the text pieces.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Because I found those to be, helpful.
Yeah, they're kind of enlightening.
Yeah, just knowing the process behind a lot of the stories. And he said that pretty much if his... they're written by the older brother, Ethan. He said that pretty much if his brother didn't say it, he doesn't put it in the comic.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he addresses a lot of interesting things about like child labor and
Right.
like how long they would keep doing this, and like he basically says as long as his brother Malachi is not having fun,
Right.
and he's not having fun, then they would stop. But
Right.
I should say as long as they are
They
still
are
having fun.
Yeah.
They'll keep it going. And he said he gives him like every DS game that he can possibly want as payment. So his brother's, well compensated. So.
Yeah. And I'm sure his mom and dad have probably managed to wring out a couple extra bucks.
They're probably squirreling away some college fund money.
Yeah.
Fund money.
I think that's actually part of one of the more emotional parts of the book that I read was one of those little explanation things talking about how, how if they're going to keep doing this as long as they're having fun doing it.
Right.
And that, he realizes that at some point, Malachi is going to get old enough that, he's going to stop doing this. And logic is going to start sort of infecting his world, and that he's really just trying to make this time capsule of, like, pure child imagination.
Yeah.
And that is awesome.
Yeah, that is so cool. I'm sure there are some people that are like, oh, he's just milking it, or he's like, blah, blah, blah. But if you read this thing, it is so much fun.
Yeah.
Insanely fun. It's just, so wild and imaginative, and like, characters, like, not only do they develop at an insane rate, they like, completely morph into different characters, and then like from there on, like a guy is a cop who plays a flute, and all of a sudden he's a dinosaur,
right?
And then he's an avocado, and then he's a dinosaur again,
right? And then he's a ghost,
and then he's
then he's a dragon with ghost arms.
And it all makes sense. It's not like you're like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Like. It's so perfect. It's so perfect. It's amazing.
It is. Wow. Like, there's so much, but I don't want to
spoil all the gags. And
and I'm afraid that that we're gonna do that,
right?
Just because we want to talk about like our favorite parts.
Oh,
and,
yeah,
like, all the awesome things that are in it.
Well, they're all really short, between 1 and 4 pages, and it's just just saw him in his cat suit. Oh my gosh, there's so many unicorns and fire and poison apples, and I love all the origin stories where X Cup's a kid and he has the mustache and the sunglasses and not to take away at all from Ethan. I think he's just as much what makes this book awesome, because it is amazingly beautiful to look at.
Yeah, he's a great artist, and I think without that, I don't think it would have the impact that it does.
Right.
He's able to depict all of the crazy shit, but at the same time he tempers it, with enough storytelling ability and flow that you can grasp everything that's actually happening.
And it really develops too, because the first couple, the ones they said he just kind of drew in a weekend when he was hanging out,
right?
They're not bad at all.
No, but yeah,
but it just develops so much by the end, and it has a list. I've never heard of any of these books. Creep, Puppet Terrors, The Weevil, and Chumplespuzz are all books that he's worked on.
I've heard of Chumplespuzz.
I really want to check them out just because, even if they aren't written by toddlers, I think his art is awesome, and I'd love to see some other stuff by him.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've definitely heard of Chumplespuzz, but I've never heard of his other stuff. And this clearly is what's making his name now. So.
Oh yeah, he said it basically overnight became his job after he put the first few on the internet,
which is awesome.
Yeah, that is so good. That's great that this sort of thing has such a positive response. You know? This seems like one of these things that you would it'd be a rarity that we would dig up and be like, oh wow, I can't believe this exists, and that's too bad that people aren't supporting this, but it is doing well, and it deserves to.
Oh yeah. I'll probably wait for the trade paperback, but I know that there's currently an X Cop series going on from Dark Horse.
Isn't it just a 3-issue miniseries?
I think so, yeah. But, I definitely want more.
Yeah. The only possible complaint I have, and I don't know, I'd imagine the miniseries is probably in color, the Dark Horse.
Right.
This stuff really looks like it's supposed to be in color. Mm-hmm. Like, it just has that feel. Like, it's not a lot of deep blacks. It's like, there's a lot of gray tones.
Right.
And I think it works. I mean, it looks fine. But I think it almost begs to be in color.
Right. I wonder if... I would imagine that if the web series was in color, they would have just reprinted it in color.
Right.
Yeah.
Probably.
So, yeah.
Maybe he just didn't have the time to do it.
Yeah.
Because, but yeah, I mean, like...
I mean, I think he was doing this 3 times a week.
Right. That's impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, but the characters are just so vivid, and, like, there's dinosaurs and unicorns and zombies, and, like, I think it would just look a lot better in color.
Oh, yeah. I would be surprised if this book gets re-released eventually fully colored.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. And this is me, as I pretty much mostly read black and white comics, and I'm more of a fan of black and white comics, so I'm not just saying it because it's not in color. Like,
right.
I just looking at it. I don't know.
I totally understand what you're saying. Yeah. So a couple days ago I was on a message board, which is not something I do often.
Right.
But there was a promo image for the new Wonder Woman book, the new DC 52.
Well, it comes out Wednesday.
It does come out Wednesday, and I'm looking forward to it, because I like a Brian Azzarello and I like a Cliff Chang. Mm-hmm. But the image is of Wonder Woman. She's holding an axe, and she is covered in blood. And one response to that image was, I totally thought DC was trying to go for a kid audience here. What the fuck is this? And my response to that was, if you question ever what you think is appropriate for a kid, read fucking Axe Cop. Because there are beheadings, there are numerous references to just blatant murder.
It's pretty dark.
It's dark.
Yeah.
And it's written by a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
So anybody who ever thinks that they know best about what kids want and what kids like, go fuck yourselves. Fuck yourselves with the carburetor.
I mean, there's some kids that love your Disney stuff. I mean, they're out there. I've seen them. But then there's kids that like to see, guys with sock arms and fucking Charles Manson beards sawing unicorns apart with a chainsaw.
Yeah.
And that happened here.
Yeah.
On page 38. Oh. Yeah, this is a keeper. This is something you would reread and reread.
Oh, yeah. And like I said, this is going to get passed around. Like I've already know at least 3 people who I want to read this after this show. And that, if they don't like it, they can also go fuck themselves.
Oh, yeah. I ordered a copy for the store, because we've sold a couple of these, but then, the interest sort of died down.
Right.
I haven't heard anybody mention it in a long time. We still have some of the number 1s of the Dark Horse miniseries,
Right.
But I went ahead and ordered everything that was in print just to stock up the store, because this is something that needs to always be on the shelf,
Yeah.
If you're feeling blue and you pick up Axe Cop and it doesn't completely turn your day around, then the hope is gone.
Yeah.
You might as well just kill yourself, because this will make anybody happy.
Yeah.
It's so fucking good.
And you can read it in short bits. Even the 40-page story, is broken down in such a way that you can read 2 pages at a time and be totally satisfied.
Wasn't that how that one was originally solicited online? It was 2 pages at a time. Yeah, that is awesome too. He said he took some flack because most of it is narrated by Axe Cop, or just a narrator in general.
Right.
Excuse me. And parts of the Ultimate Battle storyline, there's scenes that aren't narrated, and there's no dialogue in those pages. And he said that he got some flack over that. I think it's perfect.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And possibly even my favorite part of that story.
Really? Wow. Oh, of that story, yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, my favorite is definitely the Axe Cops.
Oh, yeah.
But,
yeah.
The ultimate battle is amazing.
And then, of course, there's the Ninja Brothers from the Moon.
Oh, yeah, the werewolf vampire moon warriors. Oh, wow.
And eventually Shark People.
And like that, even saying that, who they could either have world peace or new costumes, and they go for the new costumes. But like even just saying, Ninja vampire moon people, you're thinking like 90s Image Comics. You know? So much better, Axie. He's the man. Wow, I'm so glad you picked this.
Me too.
I don't think I ever would have read this because, it just sounded like something neat. Like, oh, that's cool that happened.
Right.
And I just never ever thought to, like, I don't think I ever flipped open a copy at work. I was like telling people like, hey, Axe Cop came out today. A 5-year-old wrote it. Check it out. Yeah. But I don't think I ever would have thought to read it.
I never looked at the webcomic when it, like I heard about it. As like I said, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I bought this like a day after my birthday, just because I had a couple extra birthday bucks floating around, and my friend and I were at a bookstore, and I was like, yeah, I'm curious, and I've got 15 extra bucks. What the fuck? Let's do this. Possibly one of the best comic purchases I've made in the past year.
I would agree. I think this could be one of the top 100 best graphic novels or trade paperbacks ever published.
Yeah. Like I said, it's definitely not the best comic ever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's really good. It is really good. But it is definitely my favorite.
Of everything we reviewed?
Of everything I've ever read. It just, there's so much to like about it, and it's not the best drawn comic, it's not the best plotted comic, but it's the most fun.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, people always talk about, movies and stuff, your top 5 favorite movies, and, there are people who give you shit if you say, like, Airplane is your favorite movie.
Right.
That's a movie you want to watch over and over again. Axe Cop is a book I want to read over and over again.
I will definitely read this more than once. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. There's just like images running through my mind from that. It's indescribably fun.
Yeah.
Indescribably fun.
So basically what we're saying is if you don't read Axe Cop, you're an asshole.
Yeah, you're uptight, you bastard.
Yep.
Next time you're reading your Robert Kirkmans or your Alan Moores or your your whatevers.
Yeah.
Your Grant Morrisons.
Your Dan Clouses.
Your Dan Clouses. Actually, you know what? I swear, I read this all on Thursday because originally, I was supposed to get a tattoo on Thursday.
Right.
And I was going to take this with me and, like, cause my session was going to be a chunk of time.
Right.
It was going to be possibly 3 hours worth of tattoo work. And I'm getting my ex-girlfriend's name covered up.
Right.
And I'm getting it covered up with an awesome color portrait of Galactus.
Yeah.
And originally I was going to read this while doing the tattoo, but I got some sort of rash on my leg and I couldn't do the tattoo. So I just sat at home and read Axe Cop. And when I was done with Axe Cop, I still had like another half an hour to kill before I went to bed.
Yeah.
So I read the new issue of Optic Nerve. And that's the only 2 things I read that day. And it was such a weird pairing of comics. And like, nothing against the Optic Nerve. I think that was the best issue of Optic Nerve I've ever read.
Right.
But it paled in comparison to Axe Cop. And like, I know Adrian Tomine has been slogging away for 20 years developing his voice in the indie comics community.
Right.
But he's no 5-year-old. He's no 5-year-old that writes about dinosaurs with sunglasses and guns for arms. He's good, but he ain't that good.
Nope. I'd like to see a Chris Ware try to come up with a Wexter.
Right? I know, right? Fucking Chris Ware. Don't get me started. I love Chris Ware.
Yeah, after I finished reading this, I literally could not read anything else for a couple days. Like, I had to take a break. I had to distance myself before I could get into something that wasn't going to be as awesome.
I can totally see that. Yeah. I can totally see that.
And then I jumped back into Super Cats.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, highly recommended. $15 for the trade paperback.
Yeah. Totally worth full price.
Yeah.
But, which I paid full price for.
Yeah.
Because I did not buy it at my local discountery comic store.
Oh, you mean Mavericks?
I bought it at a big box bookstore.
Uh-oh.
A Barnes & Nobles.
How horrible of you.
Yeah, well.
Like Newsrama says, Axe Cop wins the award for best comic ever.
Yeah.
They're pretty much right.
Yeah. It's got some high praise in this book.
Oh, yeah.
From the creator of the IT Crowd, or the IT Crowd, whatever.
Oh, that's a good show, by the way.
I've never watched it.
They're comic book fans.
Yeah.
Somebody from Mystery Science Theater does the intro, I believe.
Yeah.
Who's that?
That is Kevin Murphy.
So you got your, your witty comedy accolades being poured forth. Yeah.
So read it.
Yeah. And check out the Dark Horse miniseries. It's a 3-issue miniseries.
I plan to.
I think they said it's the longest Axe Cop story ever.
Right.
So that should be awesome.
That should be awesome. Hopefully. Yeah, I'll keep with them as long as they keep doing it, because it's great.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I'm never been more satisfied with a comic.
And I would like to take this opportunity to put forth an official request from Sean Bourne's Carpal Tunnel
Of Axe Cop?
for Axe Cop.
All right. Okay. See what we can do.
Awesome. Maybe throw in a Wexter. I don't know. I'm just saying.
I'm not good at that.
Oh.
Yeah. It would just be disappointing to see me draw
Uh-oh.
Wexter or Dinosaur Soldier or
Maybe a soccer ring.
maybe Soccer Egg.
Yeah, he's awesome. Oh, he's so awesome. When he gets, whose blood did he get spilled on him when he grew a beard?
Bad Santa.
Bad Santa's beard. Yeah, Bad Santa blood. Yeah, anytime that you get, apparently, this is an important fact for anyone out there, if you're fighting someone and you get their blood on you, you will,
Become that.
yeah, you will become that, yeah. It just happens.
Yep.
Well, I hope there's at least 5 more years of the Nicole's. Is it Nicole? Is that
That's what it looks like
Nicole?
to me. So
Nicole, maybe? I don't know.
I'll go Nicole.
I hope these brothers, do at least 5 more years of Axe Cop.
Me too.
Before they get bored.
Yeah. And I hope that one day when you and I are done fighting all the bad guys that there is, that I could use a unicorn horn to turn you into a woman and we can get married finally.
Laser high five. All right, I think we need to.
Preparing no agendas, let's go where the paper sends us. Open mic, perhaps a slam. Don't care where I need to jam. Grab your purse and clip on hearing. Sorry, I'm so commandeering. Air in thousand tanks, got petrol. Acting weird cause I was let go. Say I'm boring like I'm veg. Say I lack a cutting edge. I will show them that I'm golden. Gem watchers can kiss my colon. Nouveau brands won't stand a chance. Please park it, Margaret, I must dance. I got the bass for your face, yes, I can hold it down. These kids are such a disgrace. I need an older crowd. Mental stimulation, go up, registration. smoky, there's a cover, we should leave. Let's not panic, let's beat traffic and get home in time for tea. Kids have access, nostalgia waxes, can't relax if I can't breathe. Let's just exit, we're not sexy, I feel fat and elderly. Let's play Scrabble, let's play Boggle, Discovery Channel with Ted Koppel. Kids are awful, they're all moshing, so obnoxious, sneezing, coughing, spilling beer and breaking glasses. They're no fun, these trust fund fascists, no more headshots, we got Netflix, let's go beehives and mustaches. I got the face for your face, yes I can hold it down. These kids are such a disgrace, I need an older crowd. Mental stimulation, registration patches on my elbows, my set colors on my cord. There is vomit on the toilet and no soap I can't dispense. Girl named Wendy grabbed my testes, now I have no confidence. Can't believe it, I smell reefer, we might get a contact high. I feel loopy, I see Scoobies, I need pizza with these doobies. I feel mellow like a jello, hold me up or I might nap. Someone dose my Diet Coke, it's not a joke, so please don't laugh. Freaky Friday might go my way, I feel like a different person. Now I'm tripping, ceilings dripping, wait a minute, no crowd surfing. I got the bass for your face. 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 Yes, I can hold it down. I got the bass for your face. Yes, I can hold it down. These kids are such a disgrace, I need an older crowd. Mental stimulation, registration patches on my elbows, my set colors on my cord. I got the bass for your face. Yes, I can hold it down. These kids are such a disgrace, I need an older crowd. Mental stimulation, registration patches on my elbows, my set colors on my cord.
Hey, welcome back to Gutter Trash.
Hello.
We should start singing our intros more often.
I thought my hula was kind of a sing-songy.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's like a jolly...
Very jolly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's what I try to do to pump up the show. If you don't hear me do that, that usually means it's going to be low energy and awful.
Yeah. We've all been there. We've experienced those episodes of Gutter Trash.
Yep. Even recently.
So how was the Doogie episode?
Yeah.
You said it was super quiet.
It's very quiet.
I haven't listened to it yet.
I think it's okay for me to sort of come forward here and say that I don't have any problems with Doogie. I think he's a nice guy. He's been your roommate for pretty well. Except for this past year, he has been your roommate for the entire time that you and I have been hanging out together.
Right.
At least more. Like, we've known each other a long time, but we've only been really hanging out for the past 4 or 5 years or so.
Right.
And like I said, he was your roommate for most of that time.
Oh, yeah. Three different places that I lived, yeah.
Yeah. And I don't have any problems with him whatsoever. Just got nothing to talk to him about. He's a very quiet guy. When I'm around people I don't know very well, I am a very quiet guy.
Right. He's not as into nerd shit as we are.
No. I mean, he is, but he's very low-key about it.
Yeah.
And low-key, I think, is pretty much the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
To the point where, there's no connection between us.
Right.
Which is pretty much why you did all the heavy lifting on the episode you was there. Just because, again, more than 2 people in a group, and especially if I don't know those people really well, I just shut down.
I gotcha.
And that's kind of what happened.
But the episode was quiet in general as far as just audio, too?
Well, I was very quiet because I wouldn't talk any further than this. You're very quiet in general, and occasionally you could just kind of hear Doogie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, man, I love Doogie. He's like the, I don't know, I sort of wish he was my brother as well, you know?
Right.
Like, I love my brother, I just don't see him very often.
Right.
And Doogie, yeah, he's like a brother. He's a good guy.
Well, that's
He's
awesome.
a good guy.
Yeah. And like I said, I don't dislike him. I like him quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I just...
No, yeah, there's no...
We've not spent enough time around each other for me to get comfortable with him.
Right.
Because I think he's pretty much just always going to be that way no matter what.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's as open as he gets.
Yeah. Yeah. He's not a lot of. There's not a lot of eye contact with Doogie.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of excitement.
Yeah.
As far as like boisterous yelling.
Right.
But yeah, he's a good guy. He was my movie watching buddy and my bike riding buddy for a long time.
He seems like a good guy to hang around with, but a very poor podcasting guest.
Well, hopefully, eventually, we can have him back. Maybe.
I am not opposed to it. I'll just have to figure out a way to maybe up the volume.
I think if we get him a little sauced up before, because he likes an occasional drink.
Yeah.
And it loosens anybody up.
Yeah. I would probably have to drink again for that, too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that'd be cool.
Loosen me up as well. I just don't want him to, turn around and piss on my wall.
Oh, yeah. Fun Doogie's fact.
Yeah.
I woke up one time, I think it was in the second place we lived together. I woke up and he was standing above my bed, unzipping his trousers, and I swear there was 0% sexual connotation. He was blasted drunk, and he thought I was a toilet. He was about to piss on me. And I told him about the next day, and it was like deer in the headlights. He was like, "What are you talking about?" And apparently, but he told me stories. He said he used to pee on stuff, like pee on walls, or I think even in a refrigerator. Once he opened the door and if he's drunk, it's like those old cartoons where the starving guys on the raft, everything they see is like a ham bone or turkey leg. Everything is a toilet to Doogie when he's drunk. So beware of that if you're ever around him.
Yeah. But I know one of our listeners really loved the episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who's that?
James Abels.
Yeah?
A big fan of the Doogie episode.
Really?
Yeah.
Because of Doogie, or?
Oh, yeah. He just so excited.
Really?
He was incredibly excited.
Did he comment?
Not on the Gutter Trash page, but on Facebook.
Oh, sweet. Well, yeah, James, you don't know the half of it. He's like that all the time.
Yeah, and then our friend Kurt said he was looking forward to listening to the Doogie episode.
Oh, sweet.
And a friend of the show, friend of yours, friend of your ladies, told me that he really likes all our guest episodes.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't think he listens to anything but episodes where we have guests
on.
Oh,
really? Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. Because of our poor, dynamic.
Probably, yeah. Who can blame him?
But, I don't want to drastically change the subject, but you reminded me of something. Mm-hmm. You got to, see Mr. Kurt Dens over the weekend.
I got to hang out with Mr. Kurt Dens over the weekend.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I was busy slinging the magic to the chubby nerds.
Well, someone's got to do it.
That's right.
Yep. Might as well be you.
No, it doesn't. It should not be me. I thought I was signing on to work at a comic book shop that sold magic cards, not a magic shop that sells comic books.
Right.
But whatever.
I do my part. I try to buy comics when I can.
Yeah, you'd spend a chunk today.
I did. I bought like $100 worth of comics today.
Yeah, you bought every DC #1 there was almost.
There's a few I did not get.
Yeah.
Proudly.
Yeah. you got about a dozen of them though.
I got about 13.
Yeah. Baker's dozen.
Yeah.
We'll see.
This weekend, this past weekend, Saturday, was the Cincinnati Comic Expo in Cincinnati, Ohio, at the Duke Energy Center.
Ooh. And now this is a Wizard show now, right? Oh, it's not?
No.
Okay, I was...
Mid-Ohio is the Wizard show.
That's what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I think I've decided I don't want to go to.
Mid-Ohio?
Yeah. Yeah, I had my fill of comic shows this past weekend.
Uh-huh.
And really, all I did was pretty much just hang out with Kurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll sour anybody on comic conventions right there. I don't blame you.
Honestly, it was the best possible time I could have had.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I drove down there, got my car fixed.
Yeah.
Figured nobody else wanted to go with me.
Why would they?
Go
Yeah.
by myself. Yeah, well, nobody likes me.
I know. They even offered to let me take the day off, and I was like, no way. I'll sit here and sort magic cards all day. Fuck that guy.
Well, Kurt likes me.
That's something.
Yeah, so I drove down there. I had my GPS with me, so I could figure out how to get down there. But at the same time as the convention was also Oktoberfest.
Oh.
Which is weird because it's still September.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Oktoberfest last year during September, too.
Yeah,
That was weird.
But I had my GPS, and the GPS did not know that it was Oktoberfest, so it kept sending me down streets that were blocked off.
Oh. Yeah, for parades and whatnot.
Just drunk people, I guess. Yeah. So eventually I found my way into a parking garage, and it was like a block away from the convention center. So I walk in, I give them my ticket. They say, "Did you park in one of the parking garages around here?" I was like, "I think so." I don't. While I work in Cincinnati, this was further into Cincinnati than I've gone in like 6 years.
Oh, okay. You could really smell it.
Okay.
Isn't it stinky down there?
No.
Really? I was thinking it was.
Last time I went to Cleveland, it stunk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But, no, I don't know, maybe downtown was blocked from whatever smells, I don't know. I don't know. But, so, they asked me where I parked. I said, a parking garage, I don't know. They're like, well, was it, like, attached to the building here? And they were all kind of attached. I was like, yeah. So they handed me a, certificate, parking validation, to cover the parking fee.
Hey, nice.
So it was like, sweet, put it in my pocket, go into the convention. I know which table Kurt's going to be at, so I just got to find it. I find it first thing. I walk up, and he's not really even looking at me, and I just said, like, all this stuff is shit. Like, oh my god, yeah. And invited me around. The table that was next to him, they never showed up, so
Hey.
pretty much just sat next to Kurt for like 2 hours.
Oh, nice.
Just chit-chatting, and told him I was going to walk around for a little while, which I did. I went over to Mike Norton's table, who was there, with Crank.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are they doing a Crankcast?
No. And Crank was hiding.
Really?
Like, there was like a banner, like, thing, like a t-shirt stand thing, and Crank was just kind of sitting behind it.
Was he an official guest?
No, or
No.
Mike was, but
not
Crank.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, like, I was talking to Mike, and I looked over and was like, is that Crank? He was like, yep. It's like, that is awesome. And I shook Crank's hand, and I was like, hey, Crank, I just want to say that, because the Crankcast is pretty much the reason why I started my own podcast. And I
Wow.
was like, oh, I'm sorry. It's like, oh, wow. And I was like, oh, yeah, it's all your fault, man.
And it's just as bad,
Yeah.
if not worse.
And then I bought a prints off of Mike for his webcomic, Battle Pug.
Battle Pug.
Battle Pug.
Where can people see that online?
I don't know. Do a search for Battle Pug.
Yeah, what else can possibly come
Yeah.
up? You know how to Google people? Jeez, get off our
Seriously,
backs.
God damn it.
What is this?
So I walked around a little while, and I had a secondary motive other than hanging out with our friend Kurt.
Mm-hmm.
My old business partner, Bruce Hughes, was I guess at the show there.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't talked to him in person. I haven't seen him in 3.5 years.
Wow.
And decided that I was going to do it. He's gonna go talk to him in person, face to face.
Yeah.
Repercussions be damned. Whether we both come at each other swinging, or arms wide open. Whatever was gonna happen was gonna happen. It was gonna happen there, in front of all the fat chicks dressed as Poison Ivy.
And Jim Steranko.
And Jim Steranko, which I will get to.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, me and Bruce had a reunion.
Nice.
Yeah.
How'd it go?
It went well.
Yeah.
We hugged each other.
Yeah.
We talked for like an hour and a half. We laughed. We joked.
That's awesome.
It was minimal awkwardness.
Yeah. Well,
You know,
less so than with Doogie.
Less so than with Doogie.
Wow.
But, you know, he and I also have like 8 years of relationship built up to that. You know?
Right.
Minus the 3 that we did not speak.
Mm-hmm.
Apologies were given and accepted, and I got a picture of his 1.5-year-old child.
Oh, nice.
Or 1-year-old child, whatever. Doing his best Mr.
Oh.
Burns impression.
Now he's gonna hate you. You couldn't remember how old this kid was.
Whatever. Talked to very little, but talked to Justin Wasson as well.
Yeah.
Who is the person who likes our guest episodes.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, had a pretty decent reunion.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to hear.
Then you know, he and I would talk, and he was, you know, people would come up to his table, he'd do his little sales pitch. So, which you know, I sat through Bruce and Kurt both trying to do that, and made me realize why I dislike comics, and just doing the whole convention, sitting at the table, trying to get people to buy your shit.
I
It's
can't.
the worst part of any comic.
I can't really do the
Related
sales
to
pitch
anything.
either. Like, I really can't.
It's a hell. I mean, it's not a particularly, you know, hellish hell, but it's,
Right.
it's an annoying
It's not like you're starving under a bridge. It's just
No, yeah. It's,
I can't do it. I can't pit myself because, like, I like my comics, but I can see why most people wouldn't.
right. Yeah.
And I have a hard time convincing them that they are one of the few that would like it.
Right, yeah.
Like, because I would basically be lying to 99% of them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And, like, even when I was sitting with Kurt, like, you know, he had, like, a couple people come up and look at his stuff, and he was, like, trying to sell them, and I was like, you know, I should maybe be saying something because I really like your comics, and he's like, yeah, you're fine. Yeah, so then after a while I went back and hung out with Kurt some more, and then I was going to look around a little bit more, and I'm standing in front of Kurt's table and, you know, talking to him, and all of a sudden I feel someone jabbing me in the shoulder, and I hear, son, you're not supposed to be here.
Is it Jack?
Yeah. I turn around and I see Jack, the owner of Mavericks,
Nice.
and I'm like, oh, hey! You know, he's like, how you doing, son? And like, slaps me on the shoulder, and I'm like, doing good. And then he turns around and walks away.
That's cool. He just wanted to say hi. He didn't want to bug you. He didn't want to interfere.
I was prepared to get into a conversation.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. And it was at that point that Kurt got it in his mind that he was going to call you at work.
Yeah. Okay. I remember this part.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were super busy when Kurt called. Sort of only half heard everything he said because I was sorting magic cards for people and pulling stuff, and yeah.
He, like I caught the beginnings of the conversation, and then walked around some more, and when I came back, he was like, yeah, Jason seemed really uptight until I kind of had to convince him that I wasn't a customer, then he got really relaxed.
Yeah, I didn't recognize him at first, and then all of a sudden I did, and I was like, oh, sweet. He's hilarious. He's a good guy.
Kurt is great. Bought a copy of his trade paperback,
Oh, yeah.
1 Year in Indiana. So, although he's going to mail me it,
Yeah.
because he, I guess, at a previous convention, he sold a copy and signed it and had started like a huge sketch on the inside front cover But then that guy that he sold it to grabbed the wrong copy.
Oh, wow. So you're going to get the sketch copy.
So I'm going to get the sketch copy
Nice.
with someone else's name in it.
Nice. It's a nickname. You go by Gary sometimes, right?
That's my dad's name.
Yeah. Gary Jr., yeah, just put a little JR behind it.
Actually, the name he signed it to is Rick. So he just needs to really add just an E.
And yeah, just tell him you spelled it wrong.
Yeah.
If there's a K, you know. So did you buy anything else at the show?
Well, my ex Amanda wanted me to find something for her. And I wound up buying the trade paperback of Cursed Pirate Girl.
Oh, yeah.
Jeremy Bastian.
Beautiful stuff.
Oh yeah, she's really gonna like this. You know,
Oh,
the
yeah.
art is amazing.
Who wouldn't like that?
Yeah, so I bought that for her. And then while I was just sort of walking around, Blue Line Pro had a booth set up, and I wound up spending $30 worth of pens.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
You didn't expect to do that?
Nope. I pulled out only $40 to spend at the convention total.
Oh, wow. So were these like tech pens or just regular old drawing?
Just microns. Not microns, but, those type of pens,
Right.
for inking.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Copic Multiliners is what I bought.
Ooh.
Which is a pen that is really good that I like, and the only place I could get them was at McAllister's, off of Salem Avenue in Dayton, which does not exist anymore.
I think they have an online store now, but I don't think it's listed under McAllister's for some reason.
Well, I really want to get a set of markers, like sketch markers, to do color renderings and stuff.
Yeah.
And I want to get Copic markers, which are sadly like $300 for a set of 72.
Ooh, yikes.
And you have to buy 4 different sets to get the whole color range that they sell.
That's like $4.50 a marker.
Yeah. Well, some places sell them for $7 a marker.
Ooh, crap.
Such as the Blue Line Pro table. So I was doing some research, and I was looking at the Copic website. And, they said, find a dealer near you. And I typed in the area code, and it says McAllister's. I clicked on that, and it's a website. Like McAllister's.com.
Oh, really? Okay, maybe it is still McAllister.
But it looks kinda iffy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, I'm totally afraid,
Like if you like Shystery?
I can't tell if it's the same McAllister's. Like the only thing that even on the website that even remotely ties it to being from Dayton is that it's powered by Donet,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is the local internet provider.
Man, I miss McAllister. That was the best art store I've ever been to.
My coworker used to live off of Salem, and so occasionally, like on a Friday or whatever, I could, try to rush through traffic and get back there on my way home and pick up some stuff. And they sold Copic supplies, and that was great.
Oh, yeah. I went to school right by it at Sinclair Community College, and I went there at least once a week after class just to buy something, a sketchbook or a pen or a brush or whatever, eraser. Yeah, man, that place was awesome.
Yeah. And there's a couple of good art supply stores around here, but they don't have quite the variety of stuff that McAllister did.
I know, I went to Patterson Chase just the other day, like Thursday, I think.
Oh, they have the smallest
I
selection.
know.
Really.
Like every time I go there, they're like, "Oh, we can order that." And I'm always like, they're cool, they're nice.
Yeah,
It's just tiny.
Yeah.
They just can't stock everything.
So I bought a bunch of pens there, and so while I'm walking around, Kurt had kept saying that at some point in time he wanted to go meet Jim Steranko, who was the guest of honor.
Yeah.
And I didn't bring any books or anything to sign. I was just like, I don't really want to go there for that. I just kind of want to look around and hang out with my friends there. Which I did, and it was infinitely a lot more fun than any other convention I've been to.
That's awesome.
Especially since Kurt had an empty seat that I could just hang out
Yeah.
in.
That's perfect.
plus no pressure to sell anything while I'm sitting back there. You know?
Right.
And I got brownies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pop brownies?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Just some woman came around just bringing out brownies, and she
Wow.
left like 6 of them for us. I mean, they were like, you know, as big as a quarter,
Right.
but still, you know,
Hey.
free brownies.
I don't know if I would trust that.
Didn't trust it at first, but I went for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, so I'm walking around, and I see the Jim Steranko booth. And what I see is, alright, Jim Steranko, big in the 60s for introducing a graphic design element into comics, putting a lot of pop art and optical illusions and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Really pushed sort of the dynamics and what you could do with a comic page.
Right. Ahead of his time.
A lot fucking ahead of his time. Chris Ware before Chris Ware was Chris Ware.
Whoa.
Chris Ware.
I don't know all that.
And I recall reading once, well, like, you know, the fact that he's the inspiration behind Mr. Miracle, as he was an escape artist.
Jim Steranko was?
Uh-huh.
What?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Kirby molded Mr. Miracle after Steranko.
Wow.
Before he...
Scot-free?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
And then there was the thing that I read that when he was drawing Nick Fury and the Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., he drew what should have been a 4-page spread, so that basically if you would have taken 2 copies of that same issue and laid it end to end, like whatever the Miller centerfolds were, and like, you know, in the second copy, turn the page, it would have been a long 4.
Wow, really?
Yeah. And his editor at the time only wanted to pay him for 1 page, since that's how he drew it. And he apparently threatened to throw the editor out the window of the Marvel offices.
Yes! Awesome.
Well, when you have that in your head, and you walk by a booth, and you see what is essentially a 3'4" guy with a giant white pompadour, enormous rose-tinted glasses, wearing a turtleneck and blazer, who looks like my grandma.
Hey, we all know grandmas can fight.
That is true. It was sort of jarring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was, 50 years ago. Yeah.
Well, okay. I know that when you get older, you lose a little height.
All right.
But 2 feet?
He was sitting down. Oh, man.
Like literally, I walked past him, I thought, that looks like my grandma.
Yeah.
That looks like my grandma.
He's that badass. Wow.
But seriously, tiny. Tiny. Your girlfriend is taller than him.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
But,
You didn't talk to him, though?
Nah, I didn't have anything to say. I don't have anything to say to him.
Do you have a big line?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, I read a story once where he refused to sign copies of the Nick Fury Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. trade paperbacks because Marvel didn't contact him about printing it or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So, I don't want a confrontation and not
Yeah.
have a book signed,
Right.
know. And,
Bad experience, possibly, yeah.
So, I just didn't really have any purpose to. I know Kurt had a copy of the trade in his bag, so I don't know if he got it signed or not.
Ooh.
So,
I'd be curious.
Let us know, Kurt.
Yeah.
If you managed to go meet him.
Yeah, maybe if you have a story about his, he freaked out and spewed Metamucil all over you or something. We'd love to hear about it.
Oh, yeah. So that was my weekend for the most part.
Well, that's awesome.
I mean, I got a couple other stories to tell. Okay, I mentioned there were cosplayers at the convention.
Right.
I've been to a few conventions, but I hardly ever see cosplayers.
Mm-hmm.
So, there was a lot more than I am used to there. Some of them were okay. A The little kids were the best because, they're just having fun.
Yeah.
There was one Wonder Woman who was fine.
Like she was a good-looking lady?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But the day before, I was just driving around. I went out to dinner with you and your lady friend.
Mm-hmm.
And drove past a high school, and Supergirl was standing out
I
front.
remember you telling me about that.
Yeah.
You think she was getting ready for the convention?
I don't know. It was this was Beaver Creek, and it's like an hour and a half away from the
Right.
convention.
And a day,
And the day before.
right? That was strange.
Yeah. But then after the convention, I came back home because I was hanging out with my friend Amanda. And as soon as I got home, she called me. It was like, I'm on my way. I was like, oh crap! I haven't even sat yet. Yeah. And so she had to run to the mall for something. So I hadn't eaten the entire time, at the convention beforehand, whatever. So I was starving. And I was like, well, let's go to the mall and, get, a snack at the food court or something before we go do anything else.
Ooh, like a hot Sam. Or something. Pretzel guy.
Okay, I don't know. I wanted Sbarro's.
Oh,
New York style pizza.
yeah.
So we walk in, and right at the front of the food court entrance of the mall, there are 4 Chinese places, but one of them is Japanese, one of them is Cajun, but they're all run by Asians.
Right.
Yeah. As soon as we walk in, all 4 of them are just screaming at us.
Oh, yeah.
Holding out toothpicks with pieces of chicken on it.
Yeah, what is that?
I don't know. And
It's been like that for years.
Yeah. I hear one of them yelling $4.99, 2 chicken entree. And I grabbed a piece of chicken before making the beeline to the pizza place.
Right.
But they're screaming at us the entire length. And I look at them and I'm like, this is worse than being at the convention.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're peddling their wares and they won't take no for an answer. Yeah, they're an unruly lot.
Yeah.
At those mall food court Asians.
But then we get to the pizza place, and I'm standing in line. We are clearly in line. I am going to purchase from this place. This is where I have made my home.
Right.
And the guy starts trying to upsell us. I just want a slice of pizza and a pop. And he's like, well, for if you're getting this and this, you can get this for this much. And I was like, no, just the pizza.
Yeah.
And I didn't even notice it, but Amanda had spotted that on top of the counter they had little pieces of something with toothpicks in them, free samples.
Oh yeah.
And so she grabs one and eats it. And the guy's like, oh, I see, you don't want any of that because we got it sitting right here. And then he takes it away.
Awesome. What a cool guy.
Yeah. And then the guy in front of us didn't pay.
At all? He just
At all.
took his food and ran?
Yeah, like he was waiting in line, they brought him his food, the girl, hey, what do you want to drink? And he's like, this, and then she handed him a drink, he's like, okay, thanks, and he takes his tray and walks off.
They didn't notice?
The one guy was just kind of standing there, and he was like, did that guy pay? And he was looks at the girl, like, did he pay? She's like, no. Oh crap!
They chased him down. Yeah. That's awesome. That happens occasionally at the store. You had some adventures.
Had
some
a
adventures.
busy day, sir.
Well, I had something happen yesterday.
Yeah.
I think I emailed you, or no, I commented on your blog. You said something about how much you hate Yellow Springs, and
Oh, yeah.
I said my cousin and I were actually planning on going to Yellow Springs for a hike on Sunday.
Yeah.
And he emailed me. I got the email Sunday morning. He said he couldn't make it. He works at a factory, and he works 50 hours a week anyway, and he had mandatory overtime on Saturday, so he was just dead tired.
Right.
He had 60 hours or something, so So I really was like geared up though, so I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go by myself. So I drove to Yellow Springs. I took my Walkman, my cassette Walkman, and a bottle of water, and I just walked around, the nature reserve that is Glen Helen. And I walked around for like an hour, and I just went as deep into the woods as I could, like just on the trail. Like there was a couple times I strayed off the trail, but I always found it back again. And then after about an hour, I was in a spot that I've never seen before. And I've been to that at least 24 times, Right. And, but I was like back in there walking down these trails. I was like, oh, that's weird. I've never seen this section before. And I was like, I'll just keep walking. I'm sure it eventually like pops back around. And so like, I just kept walking and kept walking. And then like, eventually I was like, oh, I am lost. I am lost in the woods. And I hadn't seen anybody for a good 20-30 minutes, like another person.
Right.
And I like just kept walking, and there was like a half an hour time of me walking, realizing I'm lost. And the only person I saw was a jogger. And he like jogged, and I was like, oh, I'll follow the jogger. And I like turned and went the direction he went. And then it like I went around this corner, and it was just like a big open field. Like, and like, with a forest around the field, and I was like, I've never seen this before, ever, and I've been here so many times. And I was like starting to get a little alarmed. I was like, oh my god, I've been walking around for like an hour and a half, and I haven't eaten in like hours, and I'm like, I'm lost in the woods. So I like sit down on a log, and I look down, and there's this little frog, like the size of like a 50-cent piece.
There's a frog on the log?
No, there's a frog hopping on the trail. This isn't a children's book, sir. A frog in the log? So I picked him up and like looked at him and like pet him on the head a little bit, and I set him back down, and he ran away. And I was like, all right, I'm okay. I'm gonna get out of here. So I just started like kind of backtracking a little bit, and eventually, I was mainly worried because Glen Helen at some point connects to another park called, something Glen, John Glen or something, I don't know. But, like, it's like a whole nother, like, giant park, and I was like, I hope I'm not, like, wandering into this park, that would suck. Right. So eventually I found a part that I was, like, familiar with from Glen Helen, and, filled my water bottle up from a spring, drank this natural spring water, and made my way out of the park. But I literally walked around for like just over 2 hours, and I think I stopped for maybe 5 minutes.
Wow.
I was so tired when I got home. I'm so out of shape. Because like I don't know if you've been there in a long time, but when you leave, there's 150 steps out of the park. And I swear, like after about 100 steps, it was like I was like basically like it was all I could do to get my lazy ass up those stairs. But that was fun. Almost died.
Does not sound fun. For so many reasons.
Yeah.
Walking.
Right.
Amphibians.
Yeah.
Logs. Joggers. Yellow Springs. Just hippies in general.
And being lost in the woods.
Well, that too.
Yeah. Well, luckily I had my DJ Shadow and my Damien Jurado cassettes, and I had an Andrew Bird cassette and an 8th Andrew Bird cassette, which I was really bummed out about, because I don't have that CD. I borrowed it from the library and dubbed it, so that was a bummer. But yeah, it was a good times. I had good times.
Doesn't sound like it. Does not sound like it. But whatever. However you want to delude yourself, that's fine.
Oh, it's good. It's a good place to go. It's a good, like, because it's kind of like, it's maybe 40-minute drive from here, but it's like the middle of the woods. I mean, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
Oddly enough, I have a slightly related Yellow Spring story.
Oh?
When I was hanging out with Mr. Dins at the convention. I was just sort of sitting back there, and a guy came up with dreadlocks and started talking to Kurt, and I guess they had met at the most recent Chicago convention, where the guy had Kurt draw on a skateboard,
Oh, yeah. I saw that on his website.
I guess they sell at this guy's store. And I guess he wanted to buy like a bunch of Kurt's books so that they could stock at the place. And then I kind of vaguely heard a store in Yellow Springs. And I heard Kurt kind of muffle something a little bit. And, they concluded their business. And then Kurt immediately turns around and he's like, "Isn't Yellow Springs that place you hate?"
Well, the guy was still there?
No, the guy walked away, and I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Oh, that guy runs the store in Yellow Springs."
Oh, yeah, Superfly Comics.
Most likely. Yep.
I like that store. There's some good stuff there.
Well, whatever. I'm never going to go there. As long as it remains in Yellow Springs, it is no friend of mine.
You know, I meant to actually make it in there after, because I planned on only walking around for like 45 minutes. And I was like, I'll go to Peaches and have some food, and I'll walk in the Superfly Comics. This will be like a good little me day, you know? Yeah. And then after, like, I like crying while I was walking around by myself in the woods for an hour. I was like, I gotta go home!
After you got raped by hillbillies.
Yeah. Oh man, it made me squeal like a pig. But, good stuff. Good times. Well, I think it's tomorrow already.
Yeah, possibly.
You have to get up in 3 hours.
Yeah, most likely. So let me go ahead and pick the next movie we're going to watch.
I love watching movies.
Still on my Missed Classics kick. That will be going on for a while, because I've missed a lot.
You are. You are a classics misser.
Yeah. This is one that probably isn't considered a classic to film historians or critics or anything like that, but among us nerdy types, it is definitely a classic.
Was it Steel?
It is not Steel. It is one that I know you haven't seen.
Oh, sweet.
So you may veto this, and I may need to think of a second option real quick.
Wow, I've never vetoed before. I'm excited.
The movie I am picking is Highlander.
Ooh, I've never wanted to veto as much as I do now, but I'll watch it. I assume I will not like this at all.
It's fine.
But I will watch it.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay.
Highlander.
Yeah?
Please. You've never seen this either?
Nope.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, well, I will help you forge this new territory like a brother in arms.
Alright, then. Well, I gotta pee, so let's go ahead and get out of here then.
Alright, Highlander.
Highlander.
There can be only one.
There can only be one.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can subscribe to Gutter Trash at iTunes or directly at guttertrash.net. If you go to iTunes, please leave us a review. You can email us at eric@guttertrash.net or jason@guttertrash.net. For more info, you can find us on Facebook. Or you can go to seanborn.net or buyerbeware.guttertrash.net. Listen to our sister podcast, League Night, at league.guttertrash.net. Thank you for listening. Until next time.